Alright, back again with another episode. In this episode, I'll be working only on my handstand press up abilities. So technically, I'm only going to be doing any variation that helps me with the handstand press up, nothing else really. But I did actually do some planche training as well because that's the most exciting thing. But anyway, started off with the handstand press ups against the wall. So these are just basically a really good exercise to strengthen the shoulders and triceps. As you can see, when I come down, you can see the long head on my tricep working quite a lot, which is the back part of the arm. You can see it at the bottom, especially. And it's also working the short head of the tricep, which is responsible for giving the tricep that horseshoe kind of shape, which you can see there as well as I push up and I lock out. So yeah, I think one of the most important things of the handstand press up is, of course, the shoulders, but I think the tricep is quite underrated. Because most people, they think of the handstand press up as just a shoulder exercise, but there's a lot of tricep involvement, which I've come to realize as I am learning to get stronger and better at it. So the point of the handstand press up is actually to press your body vertically. And if you're actually pushing vertically, the more vertical you are, the more it's going to incorporate your tricep. So that just goes to show how important it is. And like another point is basically, let's say you're doing a 90-degree handstand press up and you're at the horizontal position at the bottom, that's all shoulders. So then it just emphasizes even more how important the tricep is, because the handstand press up is a vertical press, not a horizontal press. So there's definitely a lot of tricep activation in the handstand press up, which I think a lot of people don't speak about, especially if you want to do it with a good forward lean. So you can do it many ways. The handstand press up can be done with your legs apart, for example, which is not as clean as doing it with your feet together. And at the same time, you can also bring your head only slightly in front of your hands, but you can also bring it much further forward. So you'll be in a more diagonal position. And that is the technique and the cleanest form that you can get. And with that clean form, you're going to require a lot more tricep as well. So I actually noticed as I'm recording this that I'm making a little bit of a small mistake with my elbows. I'm flaring them out a little bit too much. And well, it's not too excessive. It's not enough to cause injury, so that's good. But I think if I kept my elbows in a little bit more, then I'll be able to lean forward more and activate my triceps. So anytime you do the handstand press up, if your elbows are tucked in, then your tricep is going to act kind of like a base of support for your shoulders. So you'll be able to push off the ground a lot more, I guess, cleaner form, and a bit more arm growth is going to be expected as well. But anyway, I'm still going through this kind of journey of mastering my body weight. So I guess as I get stronger, I'll be able to even do these with cleaner form, because I notice even my upper legs, like my hips, are touching the wall, which is not good. I should be coming forward and only my toes should be touching the wall. But yeah, as I got fatigued on this set, I just brought my feet off the wall, just working on the handstand, because that's also going to help directly with the handstand press up, because the more comfortable you are with the handstand, the more likely it is that you can handstand press up for more reps. Yeah, it's quite similar to actually hanging onto a bar. If you can hang onto a bar longer, then you'll be able to do more pull-ups, because you can only do pull-ups for as long as you can hang onto the bar. So this is kind of similar. Basically, the longer you can hold a handstand, the more handstand press ups you'll be able to do, simply because you're just more comfortable in that position. So definitely don't neglect your handstand holds and isolate these as well. Even if you are able to do a handstand press up, you should always train your handstand alone, just to make sure you've got the balance. Now this exercise is something I really like, because as you can see, you can stack the benches. So I'll put 3 benches, and at the start you can have your feet on the floor, and then you can go to 1 bench, and then 2, and then 3 eventually. So this is like a regression, so it's like a drop down in intensity from the handstand press up against the wall, because as you can see, my feet are a lot lower, whereas when they were on the wall they were a bit higher. So well, a lot higher, so it's going to work my shoulders a lot more. But this variation is very good. I would say if you haven't tried it, try it out. It's basically a feet elevated pike push up. It's like the medium ground between a handstand push up against the wall and a pike push up on the ground. So it's like a good little bridging kind of exercise between easy and very hard. So it's like a medium level exercise for anyone who wants to learn a handstand press up. The one tip I must give you is that you should pretend, in a way, if you can, mentally, that you're doing a handstand press up. So basically, at the bottom, I'm not just kind of, I know that I'm doing a pec press up, obviously, but I'm kind of pretending that I'm doing a handstand press up, because if you took the legs out of it, the upper body shape is exactly the same as it would be on a handstand press up. So tucked elbows, and then head coming out in front of the hands. So yeah, definitely make sure to train your feet elevated pike push ups, as you see here, with the emphasis on the handstand press up being your final goal. Because if you're just training the pike press up for the sake of it, then you're not really being, it's not really a positive mindset to have, because ultimately the goal is to do handstand press ups. So yeah, just bear that in mind when you are doing this. You should really kind of not trick yourself, but pretend in a way that you're already doing handstand press ups, because like if you, it's just going to help your form. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. It's going to help your form, and it'll make a smoother transition into the handstand press up itself, because you would already practice the correct technique or where your head should be a million times beforehand. So yeah, definitely make sure you do that, even if it sounds a bit crazy, because it will help. As you can see here, my triceps starting to get a little bit pumped, especially as I lock out. So yeah, definitely a good exercise for triceps as well. And then here I just worked on the handstand. As I mentioned earlier, you should definitely work on your handstand holds individually, even if you can do a handstand press up, because you can actually lose the handstand skill or ability if you don't train it. So even if you can do handstand press ups, to hold the handstand, like, it's really important, because basically the point is to not lose that easy ability that you once had. So if you just train handstand press ups all the time, eventually you could even like lose your handstand hold, which is, I know it's like shocking to hear it, but I've seen it happen to some people. So I personally don't want that to happen to me. I still want to be able to handstand, even if I can handstand press up, because I think it's just cool, right? You can just handstand wherever you want in public or whatever. If it's hot, you just take a shot with your handstand, I guess. But the point is, handstands will also help with your handstand press ups, because it just makes you more comfortable in the upside down position. So, how can you expect to do a handstand press up if your handstand is not that great? And here, mine isn't that great, to be honest, because my knees are bent, but I managed to straighten them out, so that's good. And there is a slight arch in my back, but I think that's just because my shoulders are fatigued from the handstand. Here, I was just working on actually a single leg extension, so I was just trying to hold myself and then bring. And here, I was actually doing a 90-degree negative, but obviously I couldn't catch myself, so I just went into some pseudo planche push-ups, which wasn't really the aim. I was trying to focus more on handstand press-ups, but this is just kind of came naturally to me, so I just said, let me just do some pseudo planche push-ups, as you see here. I don't know, sometimes I think it's good, like, for the most part, stick to the plan that you have, but if you get these like impulses, sometimes it's probably best to listen to your body. Your body is probably trying to tell you something. So yeah, I should have probably just done like a handstand press up negative here or something, but I don't know. I want to learn the 90-degree handstand press up. That's kind of like a skill that I'm chasing as well. So it just, yeah, I have to just try it out just to keep the training a little bit interesting at least. And then yeah, just wrapped up with some more handstand holds, and that was it for this session.